If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Steph Curry just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. Golden State Warriors fans, buckle up. Because what we're about to talk about is not just another preseason rumor, not just another small injury update, and not just another random trade speculation. No, this is much bigger than that. This is about the core identity of the Warriors, the legacy they built, and the fragile reality that this might be one of the last true chances for this dynasty to fight for another championship. Troubling news has surfaced around the roster, and it could change everything for the season before it even begins. For over a decade, the Golden State Warriors have been the most thrilling and polarizing team in basketball. From the rise of Stephen Curry's three-point revolution, to Klay Thompson's unforgettable shooting nights, to Draymond Green's fiery leadership, this team has been at the center of NBA history. Add to that Kevin Durant's stint that led to one of the most dominant runs we've ever seen, and you have a dynasty etched into the record books. But now, the aura of invincibility is gone. The years have piled up, the roster has shifted, and the NBA around them has evolved. Every team is stronger, faster, and younger. And as the new season looms, troubling signs around this Warriors roster are making fans nervous, and even insiders are questioning how much time this dynasty has left. The first major concern is health. Warriors fans don't need a reminder of how devastating injuries can be to this roster. Klay Thompson missed 2 full seasons in his prime. Kevin Durant tore his Achilles in the finals. Curry has battled ankle issues. And even Draymond has dealt with nagging problems. Now, as this new season approaches, whispers around the league are hinting that certain players may not be at 100%. It may not be the headline-grabbing type of news, but it's the kind of troubling update that can derail a season before it begins. In a league where one minor setback can snowball into a lost year, the Warriors simply don't have the luxury of dealing with injuries anymore. Steph Curry is entering his late 30s. And while his game is built on skill and shooting rather than pure athleticism, every fan knows the Warriors live and die with him. If Curry isn't healthy, there's no realistic path to a championship. And that is exactly why any sign of wear and tear sparks panic in the Bay Area. Even the smallest suggestion that Curry is battling fatigue or minor issues sends shivers through Dub Nation. Because we've seen what happens when he's not at his best, this team crumbles. But it's not just Curry. Klay Thompson is in a contract year, and his situation is one of the most troubling storylines surrounding the roster. Will the Warriors commit to him long-term? Will he prove he's still capable of being the elite two-way guard he once was? Or will this season be overshadowed by the constant noise of free agency rumors and potential exits? When a player as beloved as Klay is facing an uncertain future, it creates a distraction not just for him, but for the entire team. The chemistry, the focus, the unity, all of it is tested. Draymond Green is another piece of the puzzle that comes with his own complications. He remains the emotional heartbeat of this team, the defensive anchor, and the voice that pushes everyone to compete at the highest level. But his history of flare-ups, controversies, and even fights with teammates always hang in the background. With Jordan Poole gone, the locker room dynamic might be calmer. But there's no guarantee Draymond won't find himself in the middle of another storm. And let's not forget he's also getting older. Can he still guard the league's best big men and wings night after night? Can he still give that relentless energy deep into a long playoff run? These questions aren't easy to answer, and they highlight just how fragile the Warriors' chances are. Another troubling part of this roster heading into the season is depth. The Warriors have always relied on their role players to step up when the stars need support. Think back to Andre Iguodala in the finals, Sean Livingston coming off the bench, even Andrew Bogut and Festus Ezeli playing their parts in the early years. Depth mattered then, and it matters even more now. But look at this roster today, and doubts start creeping in. Can the younger players Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski truly handle the pressure of contributing at a championship level? Can they step up when Curry and Klay need help, or will they crumble under the spotlight? Kuminga has shown flashes of brilliance, But he has also struggled with consistency, and even frustration about his role. Reports last season suggested he wasn't always happy with his minutes, and that's the type of storyline that can explode if things don't go smoothly this year. If Kuminga doesn't feel valued, the Warriors could be staring at another major chemistry problem. Moody has been reliable in spurts, but he still hasn't broken out as a consistent contributor. And while Podziemski brings energy and shooting, relying on a young guard in the brutal Western Conference is a gamble. Speaking of the West, the landscape has never been more intimidating. The Denver Nuggets, led by Nikola Jokic, are the defending champions and look just as powerful. The Lakers, with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, are always a threat if they're healthy. The Suns have a new super team built around Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. The Mavericks are hungry with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And teams like the Kings, Timberwolves, and Thunder are all rising with young talent. Every single night is going to be a battle. And when you compare the Warriors' roster to those teams, you start to see why analysts are calling this a troubling situation. The margin for error is razor thin. Financially, the Warriors are also in a bind. Joe Lacob and the front office have spent more money than any other franchise to keep this dynasty alive. Luxury tax bills have skyrocketed, and the new CBA rules are specifically designed to punish teams like Golden State who spend heavily. That means the Warriors don't have the flexibility to make huge moves unless they're willing to part ways with a core piece. And that possibility, as scary as it sounds, is something fans may have to prepare for. Imagine, for a moment, that the Warriors struggle early in the season. Imagine that by December or January, they're hovering around .500, fighting just to stay in the playoff race. The pressure will mount, the trade rumors will explode, and the front office may be forced into a franchise-altering decision. Would they consider trading Klay Thompson if he doesn't sign an extension? Would they finally move on from Draymond Green to shake things up? Would they try to flip Kuminga or Moody for a win-now veteran? These aren't just wild hypotheticals. These are real conversations that executives have when a dynasty is teetering on the edge. And this is where the troubling news becomes truly alarming. Because for the first time in years, the Warriors' identity feels uncertain. Are they still chasing championships, or are they transitioning into a new era built around youth? Are they going all in on Curry's final prime years, or are they quietly preparing for life after him? The lack of clarity is unsettling, and it's fueling doubts about whether this team can hold everything together for one more magical run. Steph Curry has said multiple times that he believes the Warriors can still compete at the highest level. He's not backing down, and he's not ready to accept a rebuild. His competitive fire is unmatched, and as long as he's on the court, the Warriors will never be counted out. But basketball is a team sport, and even the greatest shooter of all time can't win alone. He needs help, he needs health, and he needs stability around him. Right now, all three of those are in question. Fans in the Bay Area are loyal, passionate, and hopeful. They've seen this team defy the odds before. They've seen Curry torch defenses when everyone thought he was too small. They've seen Klay erupt for 37 points in a quarter. They've seen Draymond shut down superstars with sheer determination. And they've seen the Warriors lift 4 championships in 8 years. But as this season approaches, they're also realistic. They know time is not on their side. They know other teams are hungrier, deeper, and younger. And they know that this roster, as it stands, is one injury, one chemistry issue, or one bad slump away from falling apart. The troubling roster news is not just about individual players. It's about the collective weight of all these factors. Age, health, contracts, chemistry, depth, finances, and competition. When you add it all up, it paints a picture of a team walking a very thin line. One wrong step, and the dynasty could come crashing down. But here's the thing about the Warriors. They've been doubted before. In 2014, nobody believed Curry could lead a championship team. In 2015, people said they only won because of injury.